Welcome back to another 10-Minute Tuesday. This week, we are going to cover whether you should weigh yourself daily or not. Now, like anything that I talk about, a lot of times, everything is really going to be conditional to you and what works for me, and some other people may not be the same for you. So I want you to take all the information I give you, think about how you personally weighing makes you feel, and then take that and then make a decision for yourself whether weighing daily, even weekly, monthly is right for you. I do want to go ahead and say that there are definitely a lot of negative connotations around the scale because over time we have just given this tool so much power over how we feel, not only just in that moment emotionally how we feel, but we allow it to dictate how we feel our self-worth is, and we decide that depending on what the scale says, that shows our full progress, when in reality it's just a snippet, and a lot of times even that snippet isn't even giving you the best indicator of your progress. I do want to go ahead and say some of the ways that weighing yourself daily might not be right for you if you fall into any of these categories, then share some ways that it might be a good tool for you, and just to kind of give you both sides of the table so that way you can make a decision for yourself whether or not weighing is right for you. I will say if you are somebody who has suffered or your predisposition to an eating disorder, weighing yourself daily is very detrimental for you in progress that you're making coming out of that or trying to get away from it. So just blanket statement there, if you are somebody, that's not to say that you can't weigh yourself, but weighing daily is definitely going to take a mental toll on you, and I highly recommend you not doing it daily. And then if you are somebody whose emotions are contingent on what the scale says. So if you step on that scale and it doesn't read what you want it to read, and you know that it's going to negatively affect you, then that's also another reason why you probably shouldn't be weighing daily. Anytime the scale is going to dictate the rest of your day, the behavior you have, the outcome on your day, it's a good sign that weighing yourself daily isn't right for you. We don't want to allow the scale to tell us how we're going to feel emotionally, and we really don't want that to just obviously carry out into other aspects of our life. So again, if you're somebody who falls in that category, it might not be a good idea for you. If you are also somebody who is conditional to the scale where you have to weigh right as soon as you get up, after you go to the bathroom, and you kind of made this ritual around weighing yourself, it's probably a good idea to kind of step back and say, maybe I shouldn't be weighing daily. And that's, again, not to say that you don't need to weigh necessarily all the time or like ever, but maybe it's time to take a step back and kind of reevaluate. Again, if the scale is controlling too much of your mental state, then it's probably a good sign to take a break from it. Now, a couple times where it might be okay to weigh yourself daily, if you are an elite athlete, that is a great time. You've got sometimes, if you're, for example, wrestling, you have to make weight. If you are doing specific sports and you need to do certain things, maybe you need to be in a weight range. Also, if you are somebody that suffers from different health problems and your doctor has recommended that it be healthier if you stay within a certain weight range, I always want you to listen to your doctor. Again, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, make your own decision, but ultimately speak with your doctor, see how they feel about it, and then ultimately make your own decision for what's right for you. Also, if you are somebody who's trying to gain weight, sometimes that can be somebody who's coming out of an eating disorder, or that was, again, an athlete who is just trying to get back to a certain physique or get out of that such harsh training, and you're really trying to get back into just kind of more overall healthy and you want to weigh in that regard. that's also okay. And but that's not to say that you have to, but it's just times that it might be okay if weighing daily is something that you choose to do. But again, if at any point it starts to be something that affects your mental health, then it's definitely something you're going to want to step back from. I will say most people are going to be in that first group of people that there's going to be something where weighing yourself daily isn't going to be a good idea for you. There are very few people, I think, that can mentally take on knowing that the scale is just a small tool and not the overall picture. And if you can't truly, it's one thing to say that you believe that, but if you don't truly believe it, then it's really not going to be beneficial for you to sit there and weigh yourself, because whether you realize it or not, you are really allowing that to take control of your life, and you really don't want to do that. So some better options instead of weighing daily. For one, just the easiest flip here is just not to weigh as frequently, but you could do once a week, you could do bi-weekly, once a month. Even if you're like doing a program, at the start of it you can weigh, and at the end of it you can weigh, because our weight is going to fluctuate throughout the day, and it can fluctuate between 1 and 5 pounds each day. So really weighing ourselves every day when it fluctuates that much really isn't going to be super beneficial to the information we're trying to gather. So changing the frequency of how much you weigh is one tool, but also kind of tap into those other areas of your life and see how you feel. How is your energy level? Are you getting stronger? How's your digestion, your cycle, sleep, your skin care? All of those things, I say skin care, I mean skin health. All of those things are indicators that you are living a healthy lifestyle, that you are being well balanced and getting the nutrition that you need, as well as the movement that you need. So look at other indicators for results and progress versus giving so much weight to the scale. Some other things to keep in mind, the scale is affected by many other things. So it's not just you just standing on the scale and it's giving you that measurement. It's going to change based around your cycle. We as women, we know that that's going to change around that time. Our environment can also be an impact on what our weight is. The clothes that we're wearing that day, our hormones definitely play a role, and we don't talk about that enough, I don't think, to let people know that that's really is making a difference. The fluids in our body, whether we're retaining water, if we're getting enough water, all of those things. So there's just a lot going on. The scale is kind of one of those things, if you're watching it daily, you're kind of watching for a moving target. You might never really get there because, again, our bodies are fluctuating in weight so much just throughout the day. And there's just a lot of other factors going on. So again, I want you to kind of take this with a grain of salt. Make your own decision that's personal to you, that feels right to you. Just keep in mind that, the scale is such a small portion of any sort of progress that you've been making, because it can't tell you how much stronger you've gotten, how much body weight or how much body fat loss that you've had with the muscle increase. And so there's just a lot of moving parts. And while the scale can, show you a snippet of progress, it's really not the full picture. And so we want to find other ways to give ourselves a better indicator of how we're making progress, how we're doing. And any time that we can really focus on our mental health while we're on this journey, we're really going to be making some solid progress, because how we feel mentally is really going to drive how we're able to stick to any sort of healthy lifestyle. So make sure that you're tapping into your emotional side and really taking care of yourself. I hope you guys found this helpful. Definitely pop in the comments if you want to keep the conversation going. If you have any personal questions, love to hear from you guys, and we'll see you next time.